Imagine you were going to make a book using both pictures and text. You would simply get on your computer, pick the images you wanted to use, type what you'd like to say, and print as many copies as you needed on your printer, right? Well, what if the only way you had to print anything was by individually carving things out of a block of wood so that you could reprint it multiple times? Printed images and text are all around us and seen on a daily basis in newspapers, magazines, books, and more. But throughout history, woodblock printing was used as a way to recreate and reproduce images and text, as well as to produce artwork. When I was in high school, I had the chance to make a few of my own woodblock prints, where I took an image I had drawn and carved it out of a block of wood using the same tools and methods that were used in printmaking thousands of years ago. Today I will be giving a brief explanation of what woodblock printing is, how it is done, and a little bit of the history and uses of woodblock printing. A woodblock print is a print made from a block of wood with an image or text that has been carved into its surface. The artist draws the desired image on the front of the block in reverse, and when the image is carved in reverse because when it is printed, it acts like a stamp and will print backwards. The Thames and Hudson Manual of Wood Engraving recommends that when drawing the image on the block, you avoid using a sharp pencil or drawing implement to keep from marring the wood. The second step of woodblock printing is carving the image. There are a few various tools used for carving. Knives, U-shaped and V-shaped gouges, and chisels are all used, which will create different varying types of line qualities. When carving the image out of the wood, the Manual of Woodcut Printmaking by Walter Chamberlain states that it is best to make sure the blade is going the same direction as the grain of the wood. That will make it easier to carve into the woodblock and result in a cleaner looking image overall. The final step of woodblock printing is printing the image. Ink is applied by rolling it over the surface, carved surface of the woodblock using a rubber roller called a brayer. It is important that you have an even layer of ink that is not too thick so that when you make your print, the ink doesn't bleed through your design. A print can be made using a printing press, which will apply a constant amount of pressure between the woodblock and the printing paper, or by placing the paper over the inked woodblock and rubbing the block to evenly transfer the ink. This style of printmaking has been used for thousands of years with very few changes in technique. Throughout history, people have been carving woodblocks and making prints as a way to reproduce images and text, as well as a way to create art. The Manual of Woodcut Printmaking states that woodblock printing was practiced by the Egyptians as early as 2,000 years before the Christian era, and that the oldest woodblock print in existence was created by the Egyptians in the 4th century. According to the 6th edition of the Columbia Electronic Encyclopedia, woodcuts were used to put designs onto bricks to decorate walls and tell stories through artwork in ancient Egypt. Woodblock printing was also very common in Asian countries such as Japan. An article on Japanese woodblock prints mentions that block prints from Japan are known as ukiyo-e, which in Japanese means pictures of the floating world. Ukiyo-e style artwork was made up of everyday life and was used to show the daily activities of the common people, as well as to depict beautiful women or geishas in peaceful poses. The techniques of woodblock printing are still practiced the same way today, using the same process and same tools as the ones that were used in ancient Egypt and Japan. Woodblock printing has made it possible for people to create and reproduce images in numerous prints, as well as made easier the ability to illustrate early books, newspapers, and magazines. Even though it is not used as the primary style of printmaking anymore, woodblock printing is still a process used to this day to create beautiful and artistic prints. So the next time you print an image or a picture for school, remember that you have the luxury of printing things instantly instead of having to spend hours carving them out of a block of wood.